told you twice. I know. My brother's the same way.
I feel like I look so mean.
Alright, so your quizzes from yesterday are graded. They're in the grade book, but there are a couple of people that still have to take it, so I'm not going to pass them back until everybody's taken it.
Did we do good?
Yeah, the grades were really good for the most part.
Most part.
And the average was a B, I think, so they were pretty good.
Yeah, well, I've never been average, so. Lay it on me, coach.
I don't remember what you got off the top of my head.
What was the lowest grade?
The lowest grade was a 50%,
I'll take it.
but
So take out whatever grade you got, give them a
No.
yeah.
No. I'm just thinking. 50%.
50% is not passing.
I said 50% there, 2 passing.
Oh,
Halfway.
okay.
One day. When the interns before.
Next Friday?
Did they really?
But it's kind of late, actually. That's after 6 weeks.
Full report card today.
5 weeks? Is it 6 weeks?
Yeah.
6 weeks? Yeah. So I would think it would be after this week, but it's not until after next week.
If we could just keep it like this amount of work for the whole year, I promise I can pass the class with minimum of a B.
I mean,
No, because you're about to slam us.
the amount of work isn't going to change, but it's going to get a little more difficult.
Yeah, a little more to you, or a lot more to me.
I mean, this is all stuff you've seen before.
Now
We are going to get into some new things,
No.
so those will be a little more challenging.
Take us
You're
back.
jumping around the question. Just be real. Be real.
It's going to get more challenging.
Like, am I gonna want to cry?
Probably,
Oh, thanks, Dad.
At least he's brutally honest.
but we'll cry together. We'll get through it. You'll be okay. Alright, so today should be a little more review. Okay? Today we're going to talk about equations of lines. So we're going to use both slope-intercept and slope form of a line. So does anybody remember what slope-intercept form of a line looks like?
Wait, are you looking for
Yeah. Yeah. So slope-intercept form of a line is y equals
What's B?
mx plus b,
Isn't it B the slope?
where m is the slope
Whatever.
and b is the y-intercept.
I knew that.
Alright, so m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So I know that you guys have worked a ton with this one. The other one, okay, that probably haven't worked as much with is the point slope form of a line. Does anybody remember what that one looks like?
That's not like it.
Is it y minus y1 equals m, and there's going to be a parenthesis and it's x minus x1.
That's disgusting.
It's not that bad.
Never even heard that, Mike.
Yes, you do.
No.
We literally learned this in the whole school in Fach.
divide those sides by the parentheses, it's the slope formula.
Yes. So, Jada, I think that might be what you were thinking. I know Mr. Haynes, if you have Mr. Haynes, yeah, he shows you that if you just divide the parentheses over the x minus x1, this just becomes y minus y1 over x minus x1 equals m, which
Is
is
that the same exact thing?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And this is just the slope formula, right? This is what we just looked at. So all we're doing is taking the slope formula, taking this part, multiplying it over here to get the point slope formula. So you're gonna be fine. Right? So to use these, okay, what we're gonna do today, we're gonna do a couple of different things. First, we're gonna write equations of lines given different pieces of information. So first, if I'm given a slope and I'm given a point, okay, I want to write the equation. Write the equation of a line. Now, I'm going to show you two different ways to do this. I'm going to show you how to use each of these equations to do this. So first, let's use slope-intercept. Okay, if I'm given slope and a point, I can plug all of that information into y equals mx plus b. Right? So we said that that m was the slope, right? So this tells me right here that m is equal to -2. I'm going to plug -2 in for m. Now, if I'm given a point, what I'm going to do is plug this 3 in for x and plug this 7 in for y, right? Because in a coordinate point, the first coordinate is always x, second coordinate is always y. So if I take these 3 pieces of information and plug them into this formula, I can solve for b. Right? B is the only thing that I don't know here. So, if I plug 7 in for y, -2 in for m, 3 in for x, I can solve for b. So -2 times 3 is -6. Add the 6 over. Get that b is 13. Okay, so to write the equation then, okay, what I know now is that my y-intercept is 13. My slope is -2. I'm just going to put those 2 pieces of information in here. And my final answer is y equals -2x plus 13. Right? -2 in place of the m, 13 in place of the b. So this is the equation of my line. Right? That's the equation of the line that has a slope of -2 and goes through the point 37. Right?
What happened from 13 to b then?
So this first part is just solving for b. Right? Our goal in all of this is to know the slope and know the y-intercept. Right? Those are the 2 pieces of information I need to write my equation like this. So I know the slope, but I have to solve for the y-intercept. So this first part is solving for the y-intercept.
Now you just filled it out.
Right. Once I have that information, I can just plug those into this formula to get the equation of the line.
Well, why don't you put in the y next? Or did you just have to put that in so you could find something else?
Right. So in an equation of a line, we leave the y and the x as variables. In this first part, we knew one set of points, right? We knew the 3, 7. So I just plugged those in order to find my unknown, to find my b. Right. You okay with that? Okay, now I'm going to show you a different way to do the same problem here. Right? Using this formula, the point slope form of a line. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now, in this, I don't have to solve for b. Right? What I'm going to do is plug in that same information. So I'm going to plug -2 in for m, and I'm going to plug these 2 in for x1 and y1. Okay, I'm going to plug these in for x1 and y1. So this is going to become y minus 7 equals -2 times x minus 3. Now if I simplify this, I should get this exact same thing. So I'm going to distribute this -2 through. So y minus 7 equals -2x. -2 times -3 would be plus 6. Then I will add 7 to both sides. I get y equals -2x plus 13. Okay. 2 different ways to do the exact same problem. Okay, we got the exact same answer, doing it both ways there. Questions on that one? Okay, so in the point slope form of a line, I just need a point and the slope. I'm plugging that point in for x1 and y1 and the slope in for m, and then solving for y, getting y by itself, and to make it turn it into slope intercept form. Questions?
I made so much noise, Birdie.
Alright, let's jump down here to the examples. Okay? Let's take a look at numbers 1 and 2. Okay, remember, if you are, I guess let me say this first. can choose either of these ways that you want. I'm going to leave that entirely up to you. Right? You can choose either of these ways that you want to write the equation of a line given a point and the slope. So you can use y equals mx plus b and solve for b, or you can plug that information into the point slope and solve for y. Okay, that's up to you. So let's jump down here to the exercises. Let's do 1 and 2 here. In 1, we're given the slope at a point, and in 2, we're actually given the slope at a y-intercept. So let's take a couple of minutes here and see if you guys can get these ones.
Okay. That's what I want to know. What are you still? Do we not have negative numbers in terms at all?
No.
I have no clue.
Alright, did we get y equals negative 2x minus b for this one?
What
Now, I did it the first way. Right? I used y equals mx plus b and solved for b. Did anybody do it the second way with point slope?
I'm trying to now.
Do we want to see that way as well?
What am I trying to get for ourselves?
You don't try to get everything by itself because you can't do the line and X.
Oh, so he's good. Good. Because I got the.
So you're trying to get y by itself.
Eh?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's good.
It's the
Okay.
6.
So then that is minus
No, because then I just put these made 2 times 4 and then I made it positive.
Okay.
So then I have 6 in here, and 6 up here, and 1 by itself. 6 plus 8 is 4.
6 plus 8 is 14.
1.
Alright, now how about this second one here? If I'm given the slope and given the y-intercept, what do I do with that? That one's a little different than the examples we just did.
You're just gonna do what you got. Find out what you don't got.
Okay. So what we do got is the slope and the y-intercept. Exactly. That's all you need. Right? We already have all the information that we need. We don't have to solve for anything on this one. Right? If I'm thinking about my y equals mx plus b, well, I have the m and I have the b. Right? B is the y-intercept. So all I need to do is plug those two pieces in. So y equals 3 halves x.
3 halves X. Why is it 3 halves X? Not 3 over 2.
Oh, shut up, Mike.
Same thing.
No, it's not. It's complicated. You shouldn't do that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Like 3 over 2x better? Alright. Let's do 3 over 2x.
Good.
Sorry, wait. Alright. We okay with something like that? Alright. So let's jump back up and look at the next example then. And so in this one, we are just given 2 coordinate points. Alright. Oh, it's frozen.
I don't know. What we're doing. You just change the whole thing.
Still the same sheet of paper.
It's not the same equation I was looking at though. Did you skip down the whole thing?
We're going back up to example 2.
Ah.
Okay.
So,
So, this one says, write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line that passes through these 2 points. Okay? So, in the first example, we were given the slope and we were given a point. In this one, I'm just given 2 points. Now remember, the 2 pieces of information that we always need are the slope and the y-intercept. If I'm just given 2 points, okay, we're kind of a step behind this problem, right? We were given the slope here. If I'm just given 2 points, how can I find the slope?
do the x2 minus x1 over y2 yeah, whatever one.
Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That'll
So,
get you full.
perfect. Right? This is what I need to do first in a problem like this. Okay, I need to find the slope. So I'm going to use my slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So first thing I want to do is label my points. So I'll label this x1, y1, x2, y2, plug them in. So -7 minus 3 over 4 minus -1. Okay. Now remember, make sure that you're keeping your negative sign straight. So in the denominator here, this is 4 minus -1. It's not just 4 minus 1. So, exactly, so that becomes a plus. Okay, so if I do this, -7 minus 3 is -10, and 4 plus 1 is 5. Now remember, we always want to reduce as far as possible, so how does -10 over 5 reduce? -2.
Wow. Well, 2.
Both of these are divisible by 5, right?
I could have been doing a whole numbers this whole time instead of fractions.
What?
What?
Oh god.
Because, like, I'll normally try to get to the lowest fraction,
Yeah.
but they don't give me a number. I'm like, well, I'll just write that down too. I'm skipping over a number because I thought it had to be a fraction.
So, a lot of the time it does end up being a fraction. Okay, in
But it
this
doesn't have
case,
to be.
it depends on the problem. Right? In
Oh,
this case,
God.
it reduces to -2 over 1, which is just -2.
Sometimes it can be a fraction, sometimes it can be a whole number, depending on the problem.
Yes.
Alright, so now we are basically to where we started in this problem, right? I've got the slope, and I've got a point. So you can choose which way you want to solve now. You want to use slope-intercept or point-slope. Okay? So since I did this example with slope-intercept, I'll do this example with point-slope. Okay? So point-slope is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And it does not matter which point I choose to plug in, but since I already labeled this one x1, y1, I'll just use that one to plug in here for x1 and y1. So this will become y minus 3 equals my slope of -2 times x minus -1. Okay, so x minus -1 would actually be the same as x plus 1. So I'm going to go ahead and write that as a plus 1. Then we just want to get y by itself. So I'll distribute that -2 through, so -2x minus 2, add 3 over, get y equals -2x
Do the opposite in the parentheses.
plus 1. Yeah, so that's a good way of looking at it. Just whatever the sign is on that coordinate, just put the opposite sign there. Because you're using subtraction. So if you're subtracting a positive number, you're going to have a subtraction sign here. If you're subtracting a negative number, it's going to be a positive. Okay. You okay with that one?
Hold on.
Question.
You have to take
Why would you ask that?
Because I told him he has to tell me he has to, so I just want to know if he's secret. I didn't do
No kids yet.
I was scared in the bathroom. There was this weird girl standing there looking at herself in the mirror. I'm like, okay. And then she goes into the stall next to me and just stands and like doesn't sit down and go to the bathroom or nothing. And I'm like, what if I come out here and wash my hands and she tries to choke me or something? Like, this is so scared. Like, I watch too many movies. Okay, that's the, I
I
don't know.
don't in the bathroom like that.
If you hate them,
All right, let's jump down to examples, or numbers 3 and 4 here. Okay, try these. These are the same types of problem. We are given 2 coordinate points, and we want to write the equation of a line that goes between them. So the first thing we have to do is find the slope, then use the slope and a point to write the equation of the line. So give these ones a try down here. No. was not recording. All right, it is recording now. So, on number 3, I got a slope of 1 over 1, or just 1. And then when I plug that into an equation of a line, I got y equals x plus 3. So in this example, I used slope-intercept. I used y equals mx plus b. And then in this example, I used point slope. Again, it's your choice. You can do, if you just prefer slope-intercept, you can use that every single time. If you just prefer point slope, you can use that every single time. You can mix it up. Okay, that's your choice, which way you want to solve these problems. Okay. Then for number 4, I got a slope of -1. So I used point slope here. I got y equals -x, or -1x minus 2. Questions on these? All right. So the last part, here is writing an equation of a line from a graph. All right. Now, again, what are the 2 pieces of information I need to write the equation of a line?
The slope and the y-intercept.
The slope, the y-intercept. Exactly. So I can get both of those pieces of information from a graph. And so first, let's just go in the order of the equation. How would I find the slope?
Let's go from 1 to 6 to the 3. Let's go all the way down and all the way over and count that. And since it goes down, that'd be negative for the y.
Exactly. All right, so we're just counting boxes. I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I go right 2. So
Or
what is slope?
-3.
Exactly.
Bam!
-6 over 2, but remember we want to reduce as far as possible. So
Right.
-6 over 2 would reduce to -3 over 1, or just -3. Now what about the y-intercept?
Just see where it intercepts the y right there. Easy, it's on the graph. Right there.
So what is my b value?
9. Wait. Yeah, 9.
Oh, this is also on your paper. Okay, so I've got the 2 pieces of information I need. I have the slope, I have the y-intercept. So the equation of this line then is just y equals -3x plus 9. Plus 5x. So from the graph, I'm just picking out the slope and picking out the y-intercept. Okay. Questions on that?
No.
Alright, you guys try 6 and 7 here.
I really had my hopes up for the rest of this year because I was like, dude, I'm doing so good in class, but I forgot we're all doing right here.
You're still going to do really well the rest of the year. Alright, so on number 6 here, this one we could get both the slope and the y-intercept just from the graph. Okay? From these 2 points, I go up 5, right 4, so my slope is 5 over 4. My b, my y-intercept is 0. And so my equation then would be y equals 5 over 4x plus 0, but I don't have to write the plus 0. Right? So I can just leave it as y equals 5/4 x. In this last example, we can get the slope from the graph. Right? Going between these 2 points, I go up 1, right 9. So my slope would be 1 over 9. But my b value, okay, the line doesn't cross at an exact coordinate point. If that's the case, I can't just guess and say, well, it kind of looks like it's a half. I would need to actually figure this out. How would I go about doing that? How would I figure this out?
You have to use one of those values.
Yeah, reverse
The
it.
mx plus b.
Yeah, okay, we're going to have to use one of these coordinate points and plug it in, just like we were doing in these last examples. Right? So, we know the slope, and I know some coordinate points. Right? So I'll make this one my x1, y1. And again, you can use either equation. You can use y equals mx plus b, or you can use y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. In this example, I'll use point slope. So, plug these in. Y minus 2 equals 1/9 times x minus 5. So then I want to get y by itself. So y minus 2 equals 1/9 x minus 5/9. Now, last step is to add the 2 to the other side. And now, something like this you could put in your calculator. Negative 5/9 plus 2.
Oh, it's 9.
Negative 5/9 plus 2. Yeah.
1.4.
Yeah. Alright. 1.4 remaining. Okay, or as a fraction, 13/9.